Alright, so I am back, and today we're going to take a look at the Transformers Combiner Wars Leader Class Thundercracker, which, I'm sure I've mentioned this before. I like this figure. I do. It makes no sense to me, though. It doesn't... It really doesn't feel like it fits very well in a Chug collection, and this is not masterpiece quality by any means. Again, the Seekers were smaller than Jetfire, so using Jetfire retooled into the Seekers makes no sense. These Seekers for Chug should have been Voyager scale, maybe a large Voyager, but still Voyager scale, like the Igear Raptors. That's where these things should be. So they should have downscaled the mold before they made these things, or something. That's my biggest issue here, And while they're big enough to fit into a masterpiece collection, they are far from a masterpiece quality figure. They're fun toys. They are fun toys. I won't sit here and tell you this is garbage, do not pick this up. I don't know where I could recommend putting it into a collection, because it doesn't look good with Chug, and it doesn't look that great with MP, and it doesn't look good at all in Legends, so there's really no place for him. So anyway, here we go. So we've seen this mold before, twice on this channel alone. So he's got the big gun, which of course I lost the missile already. Seriously, it takes me seconds to lose spring-loaded missiles. I hate them. This one's, of course, they were so intelligent to put the peg to hold the gun right below the trigger mechanism. So when you're trying to put it in, your instinct with all Transformers, when it's just a 5mm port, is to start plugging it in, and then you push from the top. It's just like that. I mean, it's just such a habit to plug it in like that. And if you do it that way with these guys, it gets lost. But you know what? They don't have big guns, so I'm fine with that. He's got the big null rays, which while they're on the wrong position in the arm, because they should be attached up here, because of this cutout here, it looks okay. I'm not going to complain too much about that. Here, because they're not using a Seeker mold, they're using a Jetfire mold, and that's why it doesn't work that well. It's got two of these. They can plug into the forearms too if you want something a little bit smaller, more manageable. And that doesn't look too bad. I do like that. I might actually switch to that. Nah, I won't do that. So he's got two of those. You can also plug them into his hands, just like that. That's fine. He's got these two side mounted ones on his legs that they've got a little hole cut out for the wheel. But you can pull that out. I wish this would fold up, but it doesn't, so whatever. You can also plug these into the forearms if you prefer. That doesn't look too terrible either. Still, it's in the wrong position, so. But with these, at least it kind of has that fake, almost like it's a real null ray. And because it's the way it's cut out and the shoulders work, as you can see, it doesn't hinder with the poseability. But if you try and move the arm, and if you try to move the arm like this, it seems to work just fine. But if you move the elbow, that's when it gets caught up. And then things start falling apart. So, come on. So yeah. Anyway, so he did not come with a crown, but the crown still works for him. So if you have the Starscream crown, you can plug that in. And Skywarp's next. I really hope that they do Lacone heads. I'm kind of getting really sick of seeing all these Seekers but no cone heads, because it's like they forgot that the cone heads were actually a part of the Seeker Armada from season 2 on, and that kind of makes them pretty important to the Transformers lore, and they're getting forgotten. Anyway, to transform him, see, you can leave the null rays on. We're going to try that. Undo these sections here. Fold this down. You want to hinge this section here up. This section here comes back. It's on a double hinge, so it just goes up and back like this. Just like that. You can then take these arms here, and alright, screw it. I'm just going to move this, take this off. They're just going to get in the way. Fold these back, and these will tab together down here at this section here. You just tab those in. Rotate the arms to the side like this. Well, let's just rotate them up, and then like that. That's how you want to put them in. We got to move other things out of the way first. Rotate this back. Swivels out. You can rotate the heel into this section here, just like that. Rotate this in like that. There is a slot here that'll tab into this peg right here, just like that. There we go. And then try to keep this straight like this, as straight as you can anyway. And then just arms will fold in. Alright, and then you fold these little panels here down. This will come down like this. This comes up. Just like that. Fold those up, and there you have Thundercracker and his jet mode. And it looks slick. I do like the look of this. It's not quite a Raptor. It's not quite an F-15. Somewhere kind of in between. And I really like it. I think this looks pretty cool. You can take the null rays and you can plug them in here or here. Here. Can you plug them in here? Yep, you can plug them in here. You can plug them in on the top, or you can plug one of them anyway. So yeah, there you go. And of course, as with this mold, you can take all the accessories. You can plug these back into where they were, to the sides of the legs. You can take the little ones, plug them in to the forearms. You can take the big one. You can plug it in here, into these spots if the big null rays weren't there, and then of course up at the top. You've got plenty of options to arm them up, and then the canopy does open. I do have one of the little dudes here from the MP mold. He almost fits. He's almost big, small enough to fit in there. Which again means he doesn't truly scale with MP, because here's the Spike figure, and there's no way you're gonna get him to sit inside this cockpit. That just doesn't work. So, Depends on your vehicle mode scale, if you're a stickler on that. So pulling these down, pull this piece here down, get that out of the way. This untabs, rotates up. This will double hinge down, just like that. Rotate, untab. These will come down, and there's a peg right here that'll plug into this slot right here. And these sections come up, and you take this, and it comes up like this, and then once you get it in, there's tabs here and here that plug into the slots here and here. Just like this. Come on, there we go. And then you fold the feet down. And then you can plug these back in. And there you go. And so we'll do some scale comparisons here real quick. Here he is with a Legends figure, which, depending on what your views on Legends figures are, or Legends mini bots, this could work, this could be terrible. It all depends on you. Here he is with a Classic Seeker. Of course, he doesn't scale with Classic Seekers because he is a Seeker and he's too big. Here he is with Classics Prime. Again, I think these two would scale perfectly if you're into vehicle mode scale. And then for MP, here he is with Sideswipe. And you see, I think this scales really well, but you can instantly tell that he is not a Masterpiece figure. So he doesn't quite fit with Masterpiece figures. Here he is with the MP10 mold. And, you can see MP10s is just a little bit bigger. And again, that makes him just about perfect scale, but just not style. He's not MP style. And here he is with the DX9, or the Megatron with the DX9 upgrade feet. And his repaint start screen. So yeah, there you go. Honestly, I think they're cool. They're, I wouldn't recommend necessarily buying all of them. I would say, pick one of them up. The blue is a little bit more striking than the plain gray. So I might go with that one if I were to choose in between the two. Although I might just save my money and wait for the Skywarp, because that's going to be even better. Because I like the black and purple. So, I don't know if buying all of them would be really worthwhile, because at the end of the day, they're not that much better. Or they're just, it's really hard for me to sit here and tell you where to put them in a collection, like I said, because they're not MP style. They look great with this Megatron, but this Megatron's not MP style either. He's just MP scale. We're talking MP scale versus MP style. You throw MP10 into the mix and he outshines all three of them put together. With good reason. But anyway, so all in all, I'm gonna give him I'll give him an 8 out of 10 because he is a good toy. The only reason why he's not getting a full 10 out of 10 is because the scale issue. I don't know where you could put him in a collection that will make him look good. Unless you are in real alt mode scale fanatic, and want him to be this big compared to a Chug Optimus Prime, then you guys are in luck, because this is what these guys are. After that, I don't know. So yeah, there you go. Leader class Thundercracker.